Welcome to a super fun episode of In the Bush. I'm super jacked. I just had 2 big cups of delicious coffee. It is 0600 and I have sort of rotated my sleep schedule. So I was up really early today, and so I thought, you know what? I'm always late getting in the bush. We're going to start before the sun even comes up. Got a special episode for you. As you can see behind me, this is a pop-up camper. We're here at the New Pond location. I bought that pop-up camper earlier this year, and I have not shown it yet on any of the In the Bush videos, although I have alluded to it. For example, the air conditioner that's in the van, the little camp stove, a few different items I've alluded to. I bought something. This is what I'm talking about. And a few accessories came with it. So I'm super excited. It is the 19th of October. It's about 50 degrees right now. It's only going to get down to like 55 tonight. So I can still sleep comfortably in this camper without electricity. There's no electricity yet here at the New Pond. That has been a whole rigmarole that's turned into a complete nightmare to get the electric company to hook it back up. So it's going to be a long time, so I'm even looking at solar options. But we're without electricity right now on this camp out, which is totally just fine because the weather is perfect. It's going to be 74 today with a low of 55 tonight. So we're talking good pop-up camper weather here. I think it's going to be a beautiful day. I have a beautiful day in store. So Corporal's Corner style rundown on what we're going to do today. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a fire going because we're going to need those coals. We're going to build a traditional pit barbecue, and we're going to barbecue some ribs, Southern style, just shoveling the coals right in the pit like they do in Alabama and such. Super excited about that. So the first thing we're going to do while it's still dark here is get a fire going. Then as the sun comes up and we get some light, we're going to pop up our camper and set up our campsite. And then we're going to build our barbecue cooker, get our ribs on, and then we're going to enjoy this beautiful day. Nothing like mowing in the dark. So, little disclaimer, I did not pay very much money for this at all, but it is still campable. It could be fixed up, but I don't know that I will put any money into it. I'll probably sell it and upgrade, but there's the table. The table also fits inside. How about we take the tour? All right. Here is what it is on the inside. The table goes there, or you, like I say, you have the 2 benches, and there's storage underneath those. Big window there. There's my bed. I got my bed all made. And then over here, there's another bed. I have the mattress for that side in the house. It's the mattress that I use when I go camping in the van. So here's what's really neat. The people that I bought this from, Brian and Amy, Amy made sure that all the colors were matching. Even the fly swatter is that 50s, I call it 50s blue. But anyway, she bought the bed, the blankets, this organizer cart, and even dishes. Even the dishes that go with it. And the refrigerator, the mini fridge, the table, everything down to the fly swatter is that 50s blue color. And here's what's really, really cool about it. Everything's that blue color, and I got to noticing on a past camp out, the interior of my van is that same blue color. So everything I have matches all my camping stuff. Thought that was pretty cool. Got my ribs on. Got them on early because I want this to kind of be a late lunch. These are going to take at least 6 hours probably. So this is a traditional pit style barbecue. As you can see, I just stacked 2 cinder blocks up and then put the grill grate on and then stacked another one on top to hold the grill grate down. And all I do is shovel in coals from my main fire. I need to get a door and a lid put on here. And you can use plywood because it shouldn't be hot enough there where it burns the plywood. So we're going to throw one on top and one in the front to lock the heat and smoke in. Oh yeah, them bad boys are going to be good. Okay, so here at our regular fire pit, today we are burning only maple. There's a lot of maple in this pile back here. Obviously, there are certain woods you don't want to use for smoking meats. There's elm back here, that's no good for smoking. So for today we're going to be burning only maple, which luckily we have a lot of. What we're going to be doing throughout the day is burning this maple down to coals and then shoveling the coal bed into the smoker, into the pit. I don't know how often I'm going to have to refresh the pit, but I guess we'll find out. I made me some sun tea, so I'm gonna have me a glass of sun tea. I made it sweet with just a hint of lemon, but I'm gonna have me a glass of this with my ribs. Let's see what these bad boys look like. So I have wrapped them. I wrapped them with butcher paper, and I used, since I'm using maple wood in the pit, I used maple syrup in the wrapper, but I also mixed a little bit of apple cider vinegar with the maple syrup to put in the wrapper, and oh my gosh, I tasted some of it and it mixes up well. It's very good. So a lot of people use honey, brown sugar, stuff like that. I thought, what the heck, why not maple syrup? I thought it would be something fun to try. So I just want to check these. These have been in the wrapper for about 2 hours. Well, here's what I think of this pit barbecue idea. The ribs are completely destroyed. They're completely burned. They're burned to the paper. Like this is a charred. That's a brick. There's just a tiny bit of meat that's salvageable. I had a thermometer in there. Either my thermometer's not working, or I wasn't getting the temperature right on the grill grate where the ribs were at. it was clearly way too hot in there. I mean, it just burned the shit out of them. They're just completely burnt. I might be able to salvage maybe a couple mouthfuls of meat out here, but most of it's just wasted. There's still some tender meat on the top here, but I've never had a rib disaster before, ever. So I ended up getting a red Solo cup full of pork from those 2 ribs. So I guess not a total loss, but I definitely lost a lot of meat. Yeah, I mean, they were baby back ribs, so they weren't like super meaty, but I probably lost another cup full of meat at least. So what I think I'm gonna do is tonight, I've got a box of cheesy scallop potatoes, all gratin potatoes. So I think what I'm gonna do is put the pork in with it and have like pulled pork cheesy potatoes. Like put the pulled pork on top or something. I think that'll be good. I figured out what part of the problem is. I've been out here all this time and I hadn't had a step 2. What in the heck? Ooh. I've been slacking. So I think what could have happened is, what might have happened is one of the coals that I put in there were a couple bigger chunks, might have flamed up. It's very possible that happened. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a little more research on pit barbecues and how it's done, and try it again. It's about 2 p.m. I have to actually leave now. I have to run to my brother's house and take care of his animals, and then I have to go to Kilcook. I'm going to stop at the lumber yard and get some 2x4s. They have studs on sale. I'm going to get some studs for my cabin, and we're going to do like a knee wall. I'm going to do a 4-foot tall wall around the whole outside before I put my roof on it. So I'm going to go get the studs. They have them on sale for cheap, and then I gotta go do my radio show. So got a few errands to run, then I gotta do my radio show. Radio show's done at 7. Then I'm gonna hightail it back here to the campsite and cook some supper and listen to some podcasts and probably head to bed. I'm pretty tired today. Now it's time to cook some supper and begin the winding down process. Got everything pretty well in place here, and got my lights mounted in here. I figured out they tuck perfectly underneath those things, underneath those bars. What's cool is these lights are awesome. They got a remote control too. Excuse me, you can turn them on and off. They take 6 AA batteries, and they'll actually run on only 3, which is pretty cool, so you can conserve battery if you want. So what we're going to do for supper is I have this box of all gratin potatoes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in some of that pork from the ribs that I was able to salvage, and I also got some ham that my aunt gave me, and I got some bacon. So we're going to make like triple pork cheesy potatoes. Oh, and I've got some cheddar cheese, some extra cheddar, so we're going to do this up fancy. So here's the plan. Got the potatoes cooking. I cut up some green onions and put in there. I got some ham I'm going to put in it. And there's my basically pulled pork. I got it simmering in a little apple cider vinegar, barbecue sauce, maple syrup, and a can of peaches, and so I poured some of the peach juice in. So I basically made my own little barbecue sauce. And I'm going to top the potatoes au gratin with some cheddar cheese and then some of that. So it's going to be mighty tasty. And then I'm going to have some cottage cheese with it and some peaches for dessert. Yeah, eating good in the bush once again. Oh man. This is a good looking camp meal. Barbecue pulled pork on top of a bed of cheesy potatoes with extra, oh man, oh. That doesn't suck. Yeah, I'm very thankful that I did get some meat off those ribs and was able to save that, because it makes very flavorful pulled pork. No, you can take those boxed scallop potatoes and add a lot to them. Steve Wallace, a lot of times his go-to camping meal is a box of scallop potatoes and a pound of hamburger. And you just mix it up like Hamburger Helper. Just add the pound of hamburger to the directions on the box. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this camp meal, and then I'm going to relax, listen to a podcast, and get everything cleaned up and wind down for the night. All right. Well, once again, snug as a bug in a rug. I'm going to hit the hay. We'll see you all in the morning. Good morning. Oh, man. I slept so good. I got a full 8 hours. I slept from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. And, I feel great. Time for another fun day. You know, I've been making Cowboy Coffee now for the last 6 or 7 campouts. There's just no other way to do it in the bush. You know, I see these bushcrafters taking instant coffee out in the bush with them, just heating up some water, you know, and mixing it in, and then they crab about how bad it tastes. It's like, dude, Cowboy Coffee, man. It's so easy. You could literally, especially if you drink it black, you could literally make it in the cup that you're drinking. All you got to do is put some cold water in it, settles the grains to the bottom, and then you could drink it down till you got down to the grains. But I just make it in my other little container there. I know exactly how much water to put in, how much coffee. You're supposed to use tablespoons, but I just put palms full. So with that being said, it's coffee time. That means it's a new day. It's a new morning. And it's a new day in the bush.